On today's video, we've got a rock-solid new rangefinder from ShotScope that features OLED or OLED technology. Which one is it? Let me know down below. We're gonna go ahead and unbox this, play some golf. I'll show you the features of this bad boy. Let's get to work. All right, here is your box. As you can see, the big upgrade is not going to be easily visible until we take it out of the box. It's the OLED display that's going to be in the viewfinder. You can see that this has an on-off switch for the slope to make it very easy to be tournament compliant. You've got a built-in magnet, which to me is just a must nowadays when it comes to rangefinders. And this also has target lock vibration. If we turn it over, you can see a couple of other features here. I'm going to zoom in for us. The range is 1,300 yards. I will absolutely 100% put that to the test here today because that's wild, to be quite honest. 1,000's about as far as we ever see with these things. 1,300 is insane. It also has a 7x zoom, which is a little further than most rangefinders. Should be clearer in our viewfinder, and it's got target lock vibration. Very, very cool. Let's go ahead and see what's inside of this box. I always love doing this with you because you get to see it when I see it. There you go. I actually grabbed a couple of things as I pulled that out of the box, but we've got a very nice high quality cover here. It does not look budget in any way. You got their carabiner. You've got a cleaning cloth here. I'll put that off to the side. Let's look at the main event here. Nice zipper. It's also got that, which is always handy. I like to keep it on my bag and I like to just kind of put it in and out. And rather than having to zip and unzip, having that little cord that pops over. How nice is that? All right, so inside here is our unit. Nice size. It's not a super small feeling rangefinder pocket size, and it's not a giant one either. It's kind of right in between there. You've got an adjustment here for the optics, so you can dial in the focus. Up top, we've got a couple of different buttons. We've got the power button there. It's also gonna be the button you press to get your distance. You've got a mode button, so you can switch between the different modes available. And then we've got that tactile slope switch. I love that. I love that you don't have to go through a menu to do that. It's right on board. And back here is our battery switch. Now this is actually, gosh, that is hard to get at, I've got to say. I can't get at that personally, so I'm actually going to use this little tiny screwdriver to pop that cover off. And there you go. There's the battery. And I'm glad I popped that off because as you can see, I don't have a battery, so it must be in here as well. So let's see what else is inside the box. You've got the user guide. It's not super lengthy. You've got this other card here, which tells you that you get free GPS maps when you download their app, and I highly, highly recommend you do. That is how ShotScope started as a company, data tracking, and that is what they are best at in the business. This rangefinder is not going to actually connect to this app necessarily, but what it's going to do is just give you some augmented statistics and data that's going to help your game. So you can literally find out different points on the course where they're at if you'd like. Now, I've done a ton of videos on the ShotScope trackers, on their watches, and other things that do directly link into this app. So I'll leave some links to that down below for you. But like I said, nobody does it really any better than ShotScope when it comes to data tracking out on course. Woo, this is nice because in addition to that silica gel, we actually have 2 batteries, and to be honest, I needed one for another rangefinder, so thanks ShotScope for including 2. We'll pop one of these in here, and time to take this one out on course and get to work. All right, we're out here on course, and we're gonna play a few holes together as I show you the features of the ShotScope Pro L5. So the first claim that I talked about as I was unboxing this was this rangefinder is accurate up to 1,300 yards. That's an incredible distance and probably one you'll never face on a golf course. This is one of the longest holes on our course. Let's find out if we actually get a reading. 498 to be exact, and I'll tell you what, that was snappy as can be. I'm really shocked because generally when a rangefinder is trying to read at distance, it takes a little bit to calculate that, but that came immediately. So we know our distance. I'm gonna take out the driver here. If I can hit a really good one, we might have a chance of taking this on in 2, but let's find out. We may have a chance of going at it in 2. Okay, let's see what we got. And I will say this OLED screen is absolutely beautiful. So crystal clear. 214 is my number now. With the slope adjustment, it's actually a 218 shot that I've got to hit here. I do think I've got the club for that. With this rangefinder, there is really kind of 2 ways you can use it. You can literally just focus in on the pin and try to remain steady and hit it, and you're going to get a number in the screen, but it also has a scan mode. So literally, if my hands are a little shaky, or if I want to just scan and I can't really exactly see where that pin is, you'll actually get haptic feedback when it locks onto it, and then it provides the numbers for you that way. So 2 different ways to use it. Either way, super snappy, super quick. ShotScope really pioneered, in my opinion, this new age of fast, extremely quick locking on rangefinders, and they continue to innovate in that space for sure. All right, so like I said, I think I've got the club for that. I'm gonna pull out a 4-iron here. I do need to get all of this one. Worst case, we'll be up somewhere near that green. I don't think I caught all of it, but we're chipping. We're chipping. One question I always get with rangefinders is battery life. So this one's gonna be good for about 5,800 measurements. So that will easily last you an entire season of golf before you have to change the battery. I'd like to know though, they're using a CR2 battery in this one, and a lot of rangefinders also are using a USB-C charger. What do you prefer? Leave me a comment down below, I'd love to know. Conditions today are not ideal. Checked up a little harder than I wanted it to, but we still have a birdie putt. It's very makeable. And after I do make it, I've got more to talk about with this rangefinder. So if you're looking to pick up this rangefinder, highly recommend you use my friends over at playbetter.com if you're here in the United States, because they have free 48-hour shipping across the continental US. You can buy this tax-free if you're outside of the state of Maryland, and they've got the best customer service in the business. It's a family-owned business in Baltimore, my hometown. They are the best at what they do. Highly, highly recommend you get this or any of your golf technology there. Now, if you're outside of the US and if you want to save a few bucks, I do have a discount code where you can buy this directly from ShotScope, so I will drop that link down there as well. Now, as I mentioned in the unboxing, a magnet is really a must, and they put a really good one, very strong here on the Pro L5, but you gotta, in today's day and age, you have to have one of these. All right, you could probably hear it in my voice, I am bummed I missed that little 5-footer. I expected to make a birdie there, but we're gonna make it up right now. I'm taking out the big stick here again. And then I've got a few other things to talk to you about this rangefinder. Cut, cut, cut. All right, let's talk build quality here about this rangefinder. I think it's built pretty darn well. Now, they say that this is splash proof, meaning you could be out in the rain and you're gonna be just fine with this, which makes sense. ShotScope's in Scotland. I'm sure they're playing in the rain all the time, but this waterproof rating doesn't mean that you should submerge the rangefinder. Please don't do that. But build quality wise, it's got some heft to it. I think it is going to stand the test of time. But the thing about ShotScope is they have amazing customer service, and if you are unsatisfied with anything that they produce, they do what they can to make it right. All right, so let's see if I can make this shot right. I'm in the rough here, and I'm getting 129. With the slope adjustment, 127. It is slightly uphill here. Now, I mentioned it in the unboxing as well, but let's say you're playing a tournament or a competition at your club and you want to make sure that you are legal for competition. That slope switch makes it very simple to know that I've got 127. I've only know that I got 129 if I've got that slope. So if you're playing a casual round, definitely use the slope, get to know your course, and you're going to score better out there. I'm going to go 9-iron here. I've learned my lesson with this rough today. I need to hit one extra club in when I'm in it. Oh, stay on that line. Stay there. Stay, stay, stay. Okay, I think we're putting. So I've got a lot of rangefinders right now, and I would really love to bless one of you with one of these. So I'm going to be giving this away, and I've got a link down in the description. Very simple. Hit the link, fill out your name and email, and you'll get entered to win this rangefinder. I'll draw a name in 2 weeks, and we'll actually put an announcement on the community board. There's always scammers anytime I run a contest, so I will not ask you for shipping or anything like that. The winner will be announced on the community tab. Now, I know every time I do a rangefinder video, I've got the people that will get on here, talk about, oh, I just like to use the 150 bush, or I eyeball everything, and that's all I need to play good golf. I don't want to discount those folks. I get it. My father is that way as well, but I'm a person that says, if you can use the technology to your advantage, why not? Obviously, out here in Florida, there's not a huge slope correction that needs to be made, but it does make a difference from time to time. And if I were to come up short there in that bunker, I'd have been scratching my head. So I'm glad I clubbed up there. I probably wouldn't have done that if I did not notice the slope adjustment there. So I'd love to know. Leave a comment down below. Are you a eyeball person or are you a rangefinder person? All right, so let's see if we can roll one in. God, this green is in brutal shape. This is the distance that's killing me. putting is so bad. So bad. The putting is hurting me right now, but luckily we're not doing a putter video, we're doing a rangefinder video. So let's talk about pros and cons here. In terms of pros, I think you're getting good build quality, fair price, and something that's going to be there for a lot of seasons in the back of your bag. I love the slope switch being a toggle switch, again, rather than having to go through the menu. I love the screen, so bright and vibrant, and I love how quick the ShotScope technology locks onto a flag so it can get you a number. It's like when I was in Japan, I got to ride the bullet train. If you ride an Amtrak train here in the United States, you hop on a bullet train, you will see the difference, and that's what you feel with this technology. Now, let's talk about the drawbacks here. The drawbacks are going to be, this is not a super tech heavy device, all right? So if you're looking for features like environmental slope adjustments or being able to get a club selection in the viewfinder, you're not going to have that. But again, ShotScope is very cool to give you that app, and if you are tracking your shots with their tracking systems, using their tracking tags or their watches or one of their other devices, then you will have that data. That will help you make even better decisions. So you're not getting those types of next level features, but you're also not necessarily paying that hefty price tag. The other negative for me is probably going to be that it takes that older CR2 battery. I think my personal preference is a USB-C, because if I'm out on the golf course and my rangefinder dies, I'm probably not going to have another battery in the back of my bag, even though ShotScope did provide me one. I probably won't put it there. But I will have that cable if I had a USB-C charger, and I would probably just plug it right into, most carts these days have a USB. So that would be the other potential drawback for this one, but all in all, solid device at a very fair price. As I mentioned, if you're shopping for rangefinders, go over to our friends playbetter.com and pick it up there. That does help support this show. I hope you enjoyed the round. I hope my putting will be a little bit better next time, and I'll catch you on another edition of Let's Play Through.